Hey there, thanks for joining me today. This is Laura Lynn with Keep Inking Up. I'm an independent demonstrator for Stampin' Up in San Antonio, Texas. And today I wanted to share 3 tips when using your dies that coordinate with stamp sets. I'm going to be using the Tasteful Touches bundle to explain these tips. This is a stamp set that is found on page 124 in our current annual catalog. It's right here on page 124, and it has a coordinating set of dies. So my first tip is that I tend to store my dies on a magnetic sheet with my stamp set in the same case. I've shared that tip before, but I think that it's worth repeating. I just find that that's easiest for me to find things that coordinate with a stamp set. Some people you'll see on many other videos, other stampers like to separate them and store the dies all together with other dies and then all stamps with other stamps. But I like to combine them because that way I know exactly where they are whenever I want to use both of them. So my second tip that I wanted to share is, and it's another tip that I have shared in the past, is that I like to go ahead for my dies. I like to go ahead and cut out all of the dies so I can see exactly what they cut out. So I'll take them off the magnetic sheet and cut them out and then put them on a piece of cardstock that I'll fold, and then I'll keep that stored in here with the dies as well. So everything is all nice and neat, and then when I pull out the bundle to use, I can look and see exactly how big the dies are, so to help me choose how I'm going to use them on my project. Now when I cut out these dies, I did something different with this particular stamp set because it's wonderful, and I don't know if you can see this. I'm hoping you can see this. See the detail in these dies? These some of them have a stitched edging and some of them have like a beveled edging. I have a sample of a card that shows up a little bit better, hopefully anyway. This is a Christmas card, so it uses a bundle that is in our August to December catalog, which I cannot show you the inside yet, but I used this label on this card, and I think that you can see the beveled edge much easier on this darker colored cardstock. It doesn't show up as well on this lighter. These two cardstocks happen to be retired cardstock. I tend to use my retired cardstock for things like this because I'm not using them for a project. So anyway, when I was cutting out these labels, I thought, well, you know, it'd be really nice to be able to know what sentiments or stamps would fit in these on these dies. So what I did actually when I was cutting these out is I cut them out of sheets. You can see how I cut them out of sheets. That way I have the negative space as well. So now I can use these negative pieces to go back into my catalog, and I can open it up to any stamp set. Let's find a stamp set. So here we go. Here's a stamp set, and then I can look and see if these stamps will fit on the dies. It's kind of hard to do that by looking at the solid pieces. If I look at this, can I tell that this will fit on here? I'm not sure, but if I have the negative, then I can hover it right over there, and since the stamp sets are shown at full size in our catalog, I can go through any page on the catalog and see what stamps, what images, doesn't have to be just the sentiments, but what images would fit on the images in the catalog. I can see that text would fit nicely on there. The get well soon looks like it would fit really nicely on this one. So for this particular stamp set, so that's the third tip, is to make a negative of the images from the dies, and I'll store that inside this folded piece that then stores in here. So it's all together. So I've got my stamps, my dies, my sample dies cuts, and then my negative die cuts to help me determine how I can use this bundle with any of my stamps that I own. So I hope you found those 3 tips helpful, and you can do that with any particular bundle. I just happen to use the Tasteful Touches bundle for this example, but you can use that those tips with any bundle that you have. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you learned something new, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.